Hey, what's up? Tyler here with Elite Performance Coaching, and in this video I'm going to share with you why people go through pain, why they suffer, why they take so long, and it actually comes from a disconnection or a separation. And I'm going to share with you the 4 ways to reconnect anything. So if you have a technique or a process that works, it's going to hit one of these 4 pieces. And I love to teach to connect them all. Like, use all 4 pieces if you want the fastest way to make more money, to have more health, to have better relationships. Check out the video. It's going to help you transform your life. So let's dive into the circle of connection. This is a key piece to help you understand how to align and the form of alignment. So when you think of aligning or changing anything in life, I look at it this. So if you think of all pain as a disconnection, separation from something, the goal is to reconnect, right? So connection is where the transformation happens. So if I want to transform, what do I have to do? I have to connect. Everybody say it with me. If I want to transform, I have to connect. Good. Okay. Now, as you're connecting, there's multiple ways to connect. There's 4 basic ones. One is through communication, likability, and we got understanding, and we have reality. Now, let's break these down. So in aligning, so with your core story, with sharing your story, how many want to get that to where it feels really real? Where it's like, man, this is coming from me. It's who I am. It's in my identity. It's what I do. And it's decisive. There's no doubt. No one can sway you from it because it's so real. To do that, we want you to connect. Communication comes through words, tone, body language. Remember, there's a lot of ways to communicate. Communication, 7% is words, right? So not very much. The rest is body language and tone. So you want to get it into the body and through the tone. Also, you can do it through writing. You can communicate, right? So if you write, that's a form of communication. Also, location and touch can be a form of communication. So if I'm touching someone, you can communicate. Have you ever felt someone who's angry? Like the touch of someone who's angry? Or anxious? Some of you maybe have a better feeling of connection than others. But if someone's anxious and you touch them or you put your hand on them, sometimes you can even feel their anxiety. It's like, whoa, they're just moving. It's like, oh, they feel uncertain or ungrounded. Other people, they're very stable, calm, and you can feel it. Now, as a massage therapist, I learned very much to communicate with my hands, to feel what people felt and what was going on. But that is one way to communicate. So to connect. If you communicate with something, you can connect it. Through the alignment process, we were saying the opposite things that were not ideal and the things that were ideal, and tapping on the location, right? That is a form of communication. So we're communicating with that area. We're also incorporating what's called likability. Likability comes when you accept it, love it, forgive it. So when you accept something, you like it, you forgive it, you accept it. So if I don't like something, so let's say I'm talking to Lori, and Lori and I are chatting, and she's like, man, your necklace sucks. I hate your necklace, right? And I'm like, oh, right? So part of us will feel disconnected because we have 2 things that we are not having in common. A lot of people call it like rapport. Building rapport is based on the likability. So it's being able to see something and say, I actually like that. I accept that thing. And when you do that, you come closer together. So anytime we want to build a connection, you can come to a place where you like, accept, forgive, and you will reconnect. Communication with it. Like I was communicating my likability. They all go together, right? But If one and all of them are together, then you connect really fast. Now, understanding is what is meant by what is said. This goes back to definitions. So understanding is like if I say, I love you, but love means to me, based on my past growing up, I'm not trusted, people get hurt, they don't really like each other. And if that's based on my past perceptions, then there's not really an understanding going on, because my word has depth to it. My word has a lot more meaning behind it. You guys getting this? So it's the meaning behind the words, that's the understanding. It's the definitions that we tie to them. Now, the reality is your perception on what is true to you. So my brother, one time, he was out, my mom's like, hey, you need to go pick all the tomatoes. So he's like, okay. And he goes out and he brings back all these tomatoes and he lays them on the counter, and they're all these green, not ripe tomatoes. And she's like mad at him because he just picked all these, she like yells at him. She's like, I told you to get all the ripe ones that are red. He's like, I did. Here's all of the ripe ones. They're all red. And she's like, no, these are green. And she got so mad at him. And he's like, no, these are red. Unbeknownst to her and him, he was red-green colorblind. So we discovered, his reality is different than hers. Red to her was different than red to him. The reality is molded by our understanding and the definitions of our past. So if someone's like, hey, I'm going to make a lot of money, but that person has some trauma around money where they've worked hard, they don't like money, it's been tough, or they've decided they've invested in something, they got burned before. It's like, oh, well, let's invest again. What does that mean? Oh, it means let's get burned again. Let's get hurt again, right? So we take on those realities, and if we don't understand the reality and communicate it and form an acceptance and likability around it, we're going to have disconnections in our body. Those disconnections keep us from our health, wealth, and relationships. So the art of alignment is really all of this happening at once. The tapping, breathing, smiling is a way to incorporate communication, likability, understanding, and reality. The 6 A's of transformation, allergies, addictions, altering, aligning, right? Anchoring, and then acting, they incorporate all these pieces.
Was it me? No, it was each and every one of you. So we all chose to do that. No one forced you. No one made you. You chose, which is freaking awesome.